So, I put a shirt on. I just wanted to say, with meditation, I I should say, meditation and God bless Freemasonry. How do they coincide? Or how was it brought about or anything, right? I uh I knew that I was who I am, in entertainment and everything, and a Freemason, and that I was allowed to do a show on Freemasonry. I knew that I wanted to do good for my brothers and help dispel a lot of negativity online. Because when I was first coming to Freemasonry, I was looking to sources online to help be there to answer questions, and whether I knew I had questions or not, they were there to help answer. And more so than, well, tomorrow I can go down and ask my lodge this and forget all about it in the meantime, right? Um, so online is really important, to me, not just my career, and being there for people, but with Freemasonry, and it's kind of like my home away from home lodge. And I knew I could do something, and I knew that I had the rights to. I couldn't cover what's in the ciphers, like I said, but I knew that I was able to do something and have it up online for people. So for months and months, you know, I just would ask God, like, I really don't know what to do. Can you show me what to do? Can you tell me what to do? How am I going to do this? Because I can do this, but I don't know what to do, dude. So I got a nose itch. I'm sorry. Um, Now, with meditation, I would sit down in moments where I was alone and I was able to just let go for the day and not have to do this or that or the other. And I could sit down for at least a good couple hours. And I would sit down all day and more or less all day, and just really allow my brain to go where it wanted to go. I ended up, through meditation, having a notebook in front of me. And I do what I'm told by God, my Shiva, my Lord, Mitamor. I do what I'm told, and I write down what I'm supposed to write down. I post what I'm supposed to post and everything, right? And I was getting that I needed to meditate, but have a pen and a paper with me. Now, initially, I'm thinking, oh, all right, so I'm supposed to be doing, and my ring just hit my headboard, one of the headboards on this bed, sorry. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to be doing like automatic writing. No big deal, because that's awesome. I love it. Thank you, Holly Berry. Um, and I figured that's probably what the pad and the pen was for, and it wasn't. So through meditations, it just kept coming to me. But as in, I'm going to have you write some stuff down, and then we're going to set that aside for a little bit. And when you come back to it with your fresh, clean eyes, so to speak, you're going to see the value. And this will ultimately unfold before you. So I'm going to help you a little bit and kind of give you a little bit of guidance, because I want this to be all for you and your own project, but I'll help you a little, okay? You're coming to me for help, and I'll give you some guidance. So I ended up with what started out as a couple pages turned into a couple notebooks full of stuff that was coming to me from meditation on what to do for this series and the show, or however you want to state it. I was also going through a whole lot of stuff at the same time, you know, and I'd had a heart attack and everything, right? But, dude, life is stressful. And when you're like an entertainer and, you know, all of that, you know, and you've got to be there online, you know, it gets pretty stressful and overwhelming at times when you've got so much to do and you just need to spend all your time online, you know? So I wrote down what ultimately led to being a couple notebooks worth. And I was told to just set it on the shelf for a little bit, knowing that it's there, your answers are there. And then really when you come back to it with clean eyes, you'll flip through it and you'll get a better feel of how we're to make this go. Now, originally, being that I've been in entertainment, I'm thinking we've got to have graphics and we've got to have, you know, like, you know, professional studio space and, you know, like, that's where my head was. But that's not what I was being told I needed to do. What I was told in a nutshell of what I needed to do was just take down a whole bunch of ideas. Don't worry, you're going to get a ton of them. And this is all through meditation, you know, and I was told that you really need to be yourself. In order for you to effectively reach more people versus just reaching people, don't do it like, hi, I'm Chad Everhart, and welcome. You know what I mean? Like, I just needed to be myself, dude. And I kept hearing over and over, dude, and like, what? You know, things like that were in my head, and like, that's not what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to do this all prim and proper and having a suit on and, you know, like basically like an organized lecture, but with, you know, top end graphics and everything else and, you know, amazing cameras and so on. And I just kept being told, like, you're going to go through these notes and it's going to show you a little bit of here and there, and you're going to want to cover this and you're going to want to talk about that. And you need to keep remembering you need to be yourself. Don't be all like, hi, my name is, you know, because that's not going to reach as many people and be as effective as if you were just like, look, dude, you want some answers? Chill out for a minute with me and you're going to get them. Still having a little bit of an issue with that because I still want to be all prim and proper about it while I keep being told, no, dude, you need to be yourself. So I basically just said, you know, that video is going to be a part 1 on meditation and Qigong and medications for mental illness. And here I am doing another one where I'm trying to really help you understand that with meditation, you can overcome many things in your life. Not just of like, how can you help me do this? But helping you to deal with mental illness more so than any crappy pill that you're going to put into your body and it's going to make you feel like crap and ultimately do more damage to your brain and your body than what it's worth. If we understood what we were putting into our bodies in the form of medication, we wouldn't do it. If we understood what we're able to do with meditation, we'd throw our pills out the window like I've done a couple times, and I don't recommend it because apparently that's illegal and you can spend time behind bars for that if people get a hold of them. And there's been a few times where I'm like, dude, I just keep hearing in my head, throw your pills out the window, and I don't even know where it's coming from, and I rolled down the window and my bad. I think meditation with mental illness, just on mental illness alone, okay? I think if your brain isn't really a pile of mush and somebody else is able to, with a better frame of mind, tell you, look, you're not as bad as they want you to think you are or something. You're not like ready to be in a padded room strapped to a chair, you know, and if you're able to function, you're able to meditate. And through meditation, it's going to take you a little bit to weed out a lot of the crap because you've got a lot going on in your brain, more so than regular people. Mental illness is like it's a lot, dude. And I don't really think people understand. They just want to lock you away and not have to deal with it. Or slam you full of medications, so you're basically a sack of potatoes and they don't have to deal with it. Or slam you full of medications and charge the insurance company, so ching, and you're in need of medication. Because somebody in a coat wants you to believe how desperately you need this when you really don't. So I think if you know someone that is struggling with mental illness at any level, but they're able to function and they're not strapped to a bed in a padded room, you know, they are ultimately able to use meditation and help themselves. Now, it might take something to calm all of the voices in your head. You might need to smoke some pot. I needed to help de-stress and not just deal with the physical pain, right? But to let my mind go and declutter. Because with somebody with, you know, what you would call mental illness, they've got a whole lot worse than we do with all the crap that's running around in our brain. So maybe you should help them out a little bit. If you can, do it. One of the pieces of music, my I Am That I Am luxury, is a really, really, really good one to use because it's not like classical, which is great, but it's just an even flow. And you don't have to use my, you know, my MP3 that I have in here in this series. You can use whatever you want. But I will say it really has helped a lot. Because it's something that your brain likes, because it's got a lot of positive affirmations, including some of the Hertz frequencies and including my own actual heartbeat is in there. And look up each thing individually. You'll see that even with the, you know, listening to a heartbeat can help you out. So I just took everything I could and threw it all into a piece. And instead of having it like a subliminal, I wanted it to be something you could rock out to in your brain even while meditating. So that it's completely monotone and it's not going to strike your brain with, you know, like a commercial would, you know. And but yet it has a whole bunch of different things that you can look up on your own individually that individually on themselves will be of great benefit, but with the combination of it all, with the affirmations turned up just a little bit so it's not really subliminal. You can actually hear what I'm saying if you focus on it, you know. And that's a really, really good one to sit and meditate to. And even if it's only for a couple of minutes or you've got to play it over and over and over all day long, do it. Because what I found is even if you have to hit to play it again at the end of it, which pulls you out of a meditative state, no big deal. But you can find yourself at the end of a day realizing you've spent your entire day in the here and now and in meditation at the same exact time. That's where a lot of things really start to manifest before you, and that's just on a whole nother level for manifestations. But you don't need to be pumping your body full of medication. Just seriously look at the medications that you're on. Find out if it's something you can just stop. And do it legally. God forbid you throw it out the window like I've done a few times and somebody else gets a hold of it. So, dispose of them properly. But play my I am that I am affirmations, the luxury. Play that all day. Really get your brain into kind of rocking out for a minute on it. That's going to be a huge, huge, huge help. Because you're not only in the here and now, but you are also in a constant state of a meditative bliss or in a meditative zone. I don't want to call it a state, Play it all day long. You'll really see how it can affect you. Now, when you pull down the description on that video, you'll see what is in the video as far as the tones and frequencies and, my heartbeat, I did some of the hertz frequencies and all of that, right? But you'll be able to read what I was speaking. And you'll see how much of a help that can really be for you. When you look up each individual tone and frequency and the heartbeat and how they effectively, change you for the better, you can do meditation just on a heartbeat alone. And it's worth it. But I wanted something that would combine all kinds of stuff that I knew from looking those things up. Like, what if I just put all these together, dude? And then I made something that you can kind of rock out to, whether you're hanging out with your friends and you just need background music, or if you're trying to stay in a meditative state all day long while you walk around and clean your house and make a cup of tea. It works on all levels. You can play it all day, all night. And the way that it changes things for you is in positive form, not negative. You'll see. But when it comes to meditating, meditation is what helped me connect to my source, our source, that is within us. And it led me to having the answers of how to do this show and where to post it. I wanted it to be all completely professional, up and up, suit and tie, and, hello, and that's not what Source wanted me to do. Knowing I've had so many experiences that I need to trust that, because I've seen time and time again how accurate Source is and how inaccurate I am. So, and I say it like that for a reason. But it is through meditation that I was given the answers of how to do this show. Some of the things that I need to be discussing when I started out, and it will evolve along the way. Because, dude, I was thinking like maybe, 13 episodes and we're calling it a season. That's not what God wanted for this. God did not want me to sit there in a suit and tie in a nice green room and, go from there. God wanted me to sit down, be myself, and really present that to you to reach more people more effectively than just suit and tie. And we covered 13 episodes in season one. You know, meditation can help in so many things in your life, so many different areas of your life. But we need to understand when it comes to things like mental illness, pardon me, I had just eaten a little while ago, my bad. When it comes to mental illness, you don't need to be on all that crap. If you know somebody that's taken a ton of medications, look up what they are, what types of effects that they have, and see if that person has any of those effects already. Because chances are it's altering their brains and their bodies, and it's permanent. And you don't want them on that. Medications for mental illness, let alone all the other crap of medications we put in our bodies, but mental illness, those are affecting your brain and your DNA, and that's on a permanent scale. Look to meditation. If somebody really has so much going on within them, they wouldn't be able to just sit down and, wow, dude, you picked up on meditation real quick, You're good at this. Go off behind the barn or something. If you got a barn, if you're out in the woods. Get them to smoke a little bit of pot with you. And then sit down, and whether they know it or not, you're getting them into meditation. And they just don't even realize it, but they think they're having a great time and they're relaxing and they're bonding and they're doing all this. And you're going to see that you can really impact them to want to do this and calm themselves into doing this and finding their bliss and happiness. And you don't have to worry about somebody like slamming their fist on you and they don't realize how hard they're hitting you. Mental disorders are a big problem, and the medications that people take cause more problems than anything else. While you think that someone's getting better from mental illness with the help of medications, all you're doing is turning them into a sack of potatoes that don't have a brain to function anymore. That's not what you want to do for someone. What you want to do for someone is to help them get out of the medication and onto a better path so that they can become human again and be productive members of society. Am I right? Namaste, my brothers and sisters, my boils and ghouls. I love you, babies. Y'all mean the world to me. And yes, I said y'all. I mean, I'm not just a New Yorker. I spent some time growing up, a few times living in Florida, So I say things like y'all. I even say crick instead of a creek. Oh, my bad. I love you, babies. Think about helping other people. And when it comes to someone with mental illness, I'm just going to leave you with this. They're not as messed up in the head as you think they are. They just need some help for the moment. And the medications aren't helping. They're hurting. Even though they're chilling out, you're destroying their brains by allowing them to keep doing it. And all they know is, okay, I'm supposed to take this. And so they do. get them off the medications. Do it properly. You don't want to kill someone by taking them off a medication that they've been on for a long time. God forbid you take away a pill and they have a heart attack, you know what I mean? So look it up. I love you, baby. Namaste.